Hello and welcome to another episode of Tech Wingman Shorts, the podcast where we break down complex tech topics into easy to understand concepts for business owners, IT managers and professionals. I'm Vince, your host and tech advisor. Today we're talking about a simple question with a big impact. Do your systems talk to each other? Let's get into it. Most businesses end up with a mix of tools over time. You might have a ticketing system, an accounting platform, a CRM, endpoint security, a backup tool, maybe something on premises in the office, and a few cloud services layered on top. Each one does a job, but if they're all living in their own little bubbles, you end up doing the same work over and over again. Copying information from one place to another, exporting spreadsheets, chasing the latest version of the truth, and trying to build a picture of what's going on from 10 different dashboards. When we say systems talking to each other, we're really talking about connecting those tools so they can share data automatically. Most of the time, that's done using APIs. An API is basically a controlled doorway that lets one system ask another system a question or send it an update. Sometimes it's not an API. It could be a connector, a webhook, a sync tool, or an integration platform. But the goal is the same. Reduce the manual effort and keep everything aligned. So what are the benefits? First, you save time, and not in a vague, fluffy way, in the very real sense that you stop doing repetitive admin that a machine can do better. If a ticket comes in from a customer, the system can automatically link it to the right client record. If a device is added or removed, another system can be updated without you lifting a finger. If someone changes a key detail in one place, that update can flow through instead of you having to remember to change it in 3 other places. Second, your information stays up to date. A lot of business pain comes from decisions being made on old data. Somebody checks a report, but it was exported last week. Somebody thinks a task is done, but the status didn't get updated. Somebody assumes a user is still active, but they left and nobody removed access everywhere. When systems are connected, you reduce those gaps. You're not relying on memory, sticky notes, or I'll do it later. The data moves when the event happens. Third, you unlock automation. This is where it gets exciting because once systems can share information, you can start building simple rules that trigger actions. Think about it like dominoes. When this happens over here, do that over there. A customer signs a contract and a project gets created. A new starter is added and onboarding tasks get generated automatically. A security alert comes in and a ticket is raised with the right priority and the right context. You're not just connecting systems for the sake of it, you're connecting them so the business runs smoother with less human effort. And that brings me to the last big benefit, visibility. A lot of businesses are missing a single, reliable management overview. Leaders want to know what's going on without logging into 5 different tools. They want to see the key metrics, the risks, the trends, and the actions that matter. That's hard to do when all your data is scattered. This is why connecting systems is often the first step toward building a central dashboard. We've been making one called Pulse for various customers, bringing information from lots of different systems into one place to give a clear management overview. And the key point is this, you can only do that when your systems are pulling together and sharing data. If everything stays siloed, the dashboard is either incomplete or it becomes another manual job to maintain, which defeats the point. Now, a quick word of caution. Integrations don't have to be complicated, but they do have to be done thoughtfully. You want to start with the biggest pain points. Where are you duplicating work? Where are mistakes happening? Where are decisions being made with old information? Fixing just 1 or 2 high-impact connections can make a noticeable difference. So if you take one thing away from this episode, let it be this. When your systems talk to each other, you save time, reduce errors, keep data current, and you open the door to automation and better visibility. It's one of the most practical steps you can take to make your tech stack feel like a team, not a collection of strangers.
Claire's blatant plug.
Need extra IT resources without hiring full-time? Projects piling up? deadlines looming? Introducing dedicated tech from Pinpoint Networks. Your flexible, short-term resource solution. Get short-term or part-time experts when you need them most, from service desk engineers to network specialists. Our vetted professionals slot straight into your team, backed by our full support network and knowledge base, so you stay on track without the overheads. Find out more by emailing hello@pinpoint-networks.net.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Tech Wingman Shorts. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends and colleagues. Until next time, take care.